Harper Lee was born on April 28, 1926, in Monroeville, Alabama.
Truman Capote was born on September 30th, 1924, in New Orleans, Louisiana. Truman moved to Monroeville and became Lee's neighbor. They soon became great friends.
Lee went to many colleges during her time as a student. She began her studies at Huntington College in Montgomery and then later attended the University of Alabama. While completing her studies at the University of Alabama, she worked on a humor magazine titled The Rammer Jammer. As a junior, she began law school and transferred to Oxford, dropping out after the first semester.
In his early years, Capote was a very good student and attended Greenwich High School. Later on in his education, though, his mother began drinking heavily. This impacted his life in many ways. He had to repeat 12th grade and did not go to college. As opposed to studying, he began partying.
When Lee moved to New York, she met up with her longtime friend Capote. While they were in New York, they read about a massacre that had occurred in Kansas.
The Clutter family was brutally murdered in their home in the rural areas of Kansas. Capote and Lee read about this article and it caused an inspiration for Capote. Deciding to collaborate to write an article for The New Yorker, they went to Kansas to start interviewing people.
Lee and Capote had very different methods of interviewing people. While Lee was easygoing and constantly writing down what people said, Capote did not take notes during the interview. Only after did he write down quotes that the person had said.
While the pair was in Kansas, the Clutter's suspected murderers Richard Hickok and Perry Smith were caught in Las Vegas. They were able to interview the suspects in 1960. A few months later, Lee and Capote left their homes to go to the murder trial, and both suspects were found guilty.
This trial became the inspiration for Capote's novel In Cold Blood. The book itself created conflict between the two friends because Capote did not acknowledge Lee for her contributions towards the novel.
In 1959, Lee went on to write her novel Ghost at a Watchman. This was later titled Atticus and finally To Kill a Mockingbird. This name has stuck with it ever since. The story was about a father defending a black man during his trial. The man had allegedly raped a white woman. The story goes on about what happens and its aftermath. This was the only novel that she ever wrote, though she did attempt to publish many books like The Reverend, which had to do with the serial killer in Alabama.
Harper Lee's novel To Kill a Mockingbird was made into a screenplay in 1962 by Horton Foote. It received 8 Academy Award nominations and won 3. In addition, it won 3 Golden Globe Awards and made about $21 million in the box office.
Truman Capote's novel In Cold Blood was made into a movie on December 14, 1967. The director and producer was Richard Brooks. He made the movie into a gigantic franchise. In the box office, it earned $13 million. In addition, it was nominated for 4 Academy Awards and 1 Golden Globe. In Cold Blood was also created into a miniseries in 1996 by Jonathan Kaplan.
Though Harper Lee only wrote 1 novel, she had a gigantic impact on the world. For her work, she received the Pulitzer Prize, in addition to many others. Today, she lives in Monroeville in New York City, avoiding any publicity to do with To Kill a Mockingbird. Lee and Capote remained friends throughout their lives. Capote was even the inspiration for the character Dill Harris in Lee's novel.
The last years of Capote's life were a struggle. He was in and out of rehabs for his drug and alcohol-related problems. He passed away on August 25, 1984 due to liver failure. Today, his books are still loved and cherished by many.